There comes a moment in life when you realize the problem was never that you weren't enough. It was that you kept forgetting your worth. You kept waiting for people to choose you, approve of you, validate you, and tell you that you matter. But what if everything changed the day you stopped chasing and started recognizing that you are already valuable? What if the energy you bring into every room, the love you carry, the strength you built through pain, and the uniqueness no one else can copy already make you the prize? The truth is, life responds to how you see yourself. When you act like you are ordinary, people treat you casually. When you doubt yourself, opportunities pass by. But when you walk with quiet confidence, respect your time, honor your standards, and know your value without needing applause, something shifts. People notice, doors open, energy changes. Because the moment you start acting like the prize, life starts treating you like one. Today, I want to remind you that you were never meant to beg for a seat at any table. You were meant to carry your own presence so powerfully that the right tables make room for you. Have you ever noticed how the world starts to mirror the way you see yourself? If you walk through life believing you are small, unimportant, or easy to replace, people often treat you that way. But the moment you begin to understand your true worth, everything around you starts to shift. Your posture changes, your choices become stronger, your standards rise, and suddenly, the same world that once overlooked you begins to notice you. That is the power of knowing your worth. So many people spend years searching for value in the wrong places. They look for it in relationships, hoping someone else's love will make them feel complete. They look for it in social media likes, believing attention equals importance. They look for it in money, titles, or status, thinking success will finally prove they matter. But real worth does not come from anything outside of you. It cannot be handed to you by another person, and it cannot be taken away when circumstances change. Your worth is something you already possess. It lives within you, whether the world applauds you or not. The problem is that many people forget this truth. Life can be harsh. Rejection can make you question yourself. Failure can make you feel weak. Being ignored can make you think you are invisible. Over time, people begin to build an identity around painful experiences. They start believing they are not enough because something did not work out. They lower their standards because they fear losing people. They settle for less because they doubt they deserve more. But your experiences are not your identity. What happened to you is not the measure of your value. Knowing your worth means understanding that you are valuable even in seasons when nothing seems to be going right. You are valuable when you are building quietly and no one sees your effort. You are valuable when you are healing and taking time to recover. You are valuable when you are learning from mistakes. You are valuable when you stand alone rather than accept what disrespects you. Worth is not tied to performance, it is tied to who you are at your core. When you truly know your worth, you stop begging for what should be given freely. You stop chasing people who only appreciate you when it is convenient. You stop shrinking yourself to fit into spaces that were never designed for your growth. You stop over explaining your boundaries to those committed to misunderstanding you. Instead, you begin to move differently. You choose peace over chaos. You choose respect over attention. You choose quality over quantity. You choose yourself without guilt. There is a quiet confidence that comes from self-worth. It is not loud arrogance. It does not need to dominate rooms or prove superiority. It is calm, steady, and powerful. It is the energy of someone who knows they bring value wherever they go. It is the person who can walk away from disrespect without drama. It is the person who can wait patiently for the right opportunity instead of grabbing the wrong one out of fear. It is the person who knows being alone is better than being badly accompanied. People often think confidence is something you are born with, but much of it comes from self-recognition. Confidence grows when you keep promises to yourself. It grows when you honor your standards. It grows when you stop speaking negatively about yourself. It grows when you remember how much you have survived and how far you have come. Every challenge you overcame, every lesson you learned, every time you got back up after falling, these are reminders of your strength. Knowing your worth also changes the way others treat you. not because you control them, but because you teach people how to engage with you through what you accept. If you tolerate constant disrespect, people assume access has no cost. If you constantly undervalue yourself, some will gladly agree with you. But when you carry yourself with dignity, when you speak with clarity, when you protect your peace, when you refuse less than what aligns with your standards, the right people rise to meet you. This does not mean life becomes perfect. You will still face rejection, disappointment, and setbacks, but those moments no longer define you. Instead of asking, "What is wrong with me?" you begin asking, "What is this teaching me?" Instead of collapsing when something leaves, you understand that what is meant for you will not require you to betray yourself to keep it. Today, remember this: your worth is not waiting in someone else's opinion. It is not hidden in a future achievement. It is not dependent on being chosen by the world. Your worth is already yours. The moment you truly understand that, you stop living like a person searching for value and start living like a person who carries it naturally. So stand taller, speak kinder to yourself, raise your standards, protect your energy, walk away from what diminishes you, and never forget that the version of you who knows their worth becomes unstoppable, because once you recognize your own value, life can never convince you to settle for less again. How many years have people wasted trying to be enough for everyone else, trying to earn love, earn approval, earn attention, earn acceptance, as if their value was something handed out by strangers? So many wake up every day performing for the world, adjusting their personality, shrinking their truth, overgiving their energy, hoping someone will finally say, "You matter." But the truth is powerful and simple. The moment you stop chasing approval is the moment you start becoming free. Approval can feel addictive. It starts small. You want people to like you, so you stay quiet when something bothers you. You want to fit in, so you pretend to agree with things that go against your values. You want to keep someone around, so you lower your standards and tolerate behavior that hurts you. Piece by piece, without noticing, you begin trading your authenticity for acceptance. You smile when you're tired. You say yes when you mean no. You apologize for taking up space, and slowly you become a stranger to yourself. The dangerous part about approval seeking is that it never truly ends. Once you depend on praise to feel worthy, you become controlled by opinions. If people cheer for you, you feel high. If they criticize you, you feel broken. If they include you, you feel secure. If they ignore you, you feel invisible. Your emotional peace gets placed in the hands of people who may not even know themselves. That is too expensive a price to pay. The truth is, not everyone will understand you. Not everyone will appreciate your heart, your vision, your boundaries, or your growth. Some people only like the version of you that was easy to control. Some people were comfortable when you doubted yourself. Some people enjoyed your silence because it made their voice louder. And when you begin changing, healing, and respecting yourself, they may resist it. That resistance does not mean you are wrong. It often means you are finally evolving. There is incredible strength in realizing that approval is optional. You do not need everyone to clap for your decisions. You do not need permission to become who you are meant to be. You do not need to explain every boundary to people who benefit from you having none. You do not need to twist yourself into a shape that pleases people who were never going to value you properly anyway. When you stop chasing approval, your decisions become clearer. You choose what aligns with your peace instead of what impresses others. You pursue goals because they matter to you, not because they look good from the outside. You wear what feels like you. You speak what feels true. You build a life based on substance rather than image. That kind of freedom is rare, and it changes everything. Many people fear being disliked, but being disliked for being real is far better than being loved for being fake. If people only support the version of you that betrays yourself, that support is not love, it is convenience. Real connections can survive honesty. Real respect can handle boundaries. Real love does not require self-abandonment. Stopping the chase also means learning to sit with discomfort. There will be moments when saying no feels unnatural because you are used to pleasing everyone. There will be moments when silence feels awkward because you are used to over-explaining yourself. There will be moments when loneliness appears because some people leave when they no longer have access to your unlimited energy. But that discomfort is temporary. It is the growing pain of becoming whole again. As you heal, you begin noticing something beautiful. The less you chase approval, the more genuine respect you attract. People trust those who trust themselves. They are drawn to those who move with self respect. Confidence is magnetic, and confidence grows when you stop outsourcing your worth. You no longer need every room to welcome you because you know not every room deserves you. Think about how much energy has been wasted trying to win people over. Imagine using that same energy to build your dream, strengthen your mind, protect your peace, improve your health, deepen your faith, or create something meaningful. Imagine what becomes possible when your focus returns to your own path instead of the crowd's reaction. This does not mean becoming cold or careless. It means becoming rooted. It means listening to feedback without being owned by it. It means being kind without becoming a doormat. It means being open-hearted while still honoring yourself. You can care about people without needing their constant validation. Today, remind yourself of this. You were not born to spend your life auditioning for acceptance. You were not created to live according to everyone else's expectations. You were meant to live truthfully, boldly, and with dignity. Some will approve, some will not. Let them choose. Your job is not to manage every opinion. Your job is to become fully yourself. So stop chasing applause that fades. Stop begging for seats at tables where you are barely tolerated. Stop shrinking to be digestible. Walk in your own truth, even if your voice shakes at first. Choose yourself, even if others do not understand right away, because the day you stop chasing approval is the day your real life begins. Have you ever met someone who didn't need to say much, didn't need to prove anything, yet their presence filled the room? They weren't the loudest person there. They weren't begging for attention. They weren't trying to impress anyone, but something about them felt powerful, grounded, unforgettable. That is the strength of quiet confidence. It does not scream. It does not chase. It does not perform. It simply exists, and because it is real, everyone feels it. Many people confuse confidence with noise. They think confidence means talking the most, showing off the most, posting the most, dominating every conversation, or constantly proving how important they are. But often, the louder the display, the deeper the insecurity behind it. True confidence is calm. It does not need constant validation because it already knows its value. It is secure enough to be still. Quiet confidence is built differently. It is created in private moments no one applauds. It is built when you keep promises to yourself. It grows when you heal from pain instead of letting pain define you. It strengthens when you walk away from what disrespects you. It forms when you choose discipline over excuses and peace over chaos. It comes from knowing who you are without needing the world to remind you. There is something powerful about a person who no longer needs to be seen to feel worthy. They can sit in silence without feeling small. They can let others shine without jealousy. They can be misunderstood without panicking. They can hear criticism without collapsing. Why? Because their identity is rooted within, not rented from outside opinions. So many people exhaust themselves trying to look confident instead of becoming confident. They chase the image instead of the substance. They want people to think they are strong while secretly feeling fragile inside. But no outfit, title, relationship, or audience can replace inner certainty. The strongest glow comes from self-respect, not decoration. Quiet confidence changes the way you move through life. You stop over-explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. You stop arguing for your worth. You stop needing everyone to agree with your choices. You understand that not every reaction deserves your response. Some battles are beneath your energy, and some opinions are too cheap to carry weight in your mind. It also changes the way you speak. You no longer speak just to fill silence. Your words become more intentional. You listen more carefully. You notice more. You become comfortable with pauses. And because you are not speaking to impress, people begin to trust what you say. There is authority in measured words. Quiet confidence shows up in boundaries too. It is the person who can say no without guilt. It is the person who can leave a toxic room without creating drama. It is the person who can love deeply without losing themselves. It is the person who knows that protecting peace is not selfish, it is wisdom. Some people will misunderstand quiet confidence. They may call it distant, arrogant, or intimidating. Why? Because people who rely on noise often struggle to understand calm power. They mistake desperation for passion and silence for weakness. But not everyone needs to understand your energy. Some people only recognize what is loud because they have never learned to notice what is solid. The beautiful thing about quiet confidence is that it can be developed by anyone. You do not need to be born charismatic. You do not need perfect looks, endless money, or a flawless past. You need honesty with yourself. You need to keep your word. You need to face your fears little by little. You need to stop betraying yourself for temporary approval. Confidence grows every time you act in alignment with your values. Start small. Speak kindly to yourself when no one is listening. Finish what you start. Walk away from spaces that drain you. Stop comparing your timeline to others. Learn a skill. Improve your posture. Honor your standards. Each small act tells your mind, I can trust myself. And trust in yourself is the foundation of real confidence. Life responds differently when you carry this energy. Opportunities feel more natural because you stop shrinking from them. Relationships improve because you no longer tolerate crumbs. Stress lessens because you stop trying to control how everyone sees you. You become more attractive, not just physically but energetically, because people are drawn to those who are at peace with themselves. Quiet confidence also gives you resilience. When rejection comes, it stings but does not destroy you. When criticism comes, you evaluate it without absorbing all of it. When success comes, you enjoy it without becoming arrogant. You remain steady because your center is inside you, not in circumstances. Remember, the strongest lion in the jungle does not need to announce itself every minute. Presence speaks before words ever do. Your calm can be louder than someone else's chaos. Your consistency can be louder than someone else's performance. Your peace can be louder than someone else's attention seeking. So stop trying to prove yourself to every room you enter. Stop mistaking noise for power. Stop believing you must be louder to be valuable. Stand tall, move with intention, speak with purpose, protect your peace. Let your work speak, let your character speak, let your standards speak. Because when you carry quiet confidence, you do not need to chase respect. You naturally command it. And when life sees that you know who you are, it starts treating you like someone who cannot be easily shaken. Have you ever wondered why some people keep receiving less than they deserve, while others seem to attract respect, love, and better opportunities? The difference is often not luck, beauty, or connections. It is standards. The level you are willing to accept becomes the level life often continues to offer. If you keep saying yes to crumbs, do not be surprised when full meals stop coming. But the moment you raise your standards, everything begins to change. Many people think standards are about arrogance or expecting perfection. They are not. Standards are simply the rules you set for how you will live, what you will tolerate, and what you believe aligns with your value. Standards are self-respect in action. They are the quiet decision that says, I know what belongs in my life and I know what does not. Without standards, life becomes random. You accept relationships that drain you because you fear being alone. You stay in jobs that crush your spirit because you doubt better exists. You keep friendships that disrespect you because history feels stronger than peace. You say yes when every part of you wants to say no. Slowly, your life fills with things you never truly wanted but were too afraid to reject. Raising your standards starts with honesty. You must ask yourself where you have been settling. Maybe you settle for half-hearted love because deep down you think full love is rare. Maybe you settle for poor treatment because you confuse familiarity with connection. Maybe you settle for average effort because you forgot your own potential. Maybe you settle for chaos because calm feels unfamiliar. Whatever it is, growth begins when truth is faced. The uncomfortable reality is this: many people teach others how to treat them through what they repeatedly allow. If someone constantly disrespects your time and you keep showing up, they learn there is no cost. If someone lies and you keep returning, they learn honesty is optional. If a workplace overuses you and you never speak up, they learn your limits do not matter. Standards create consequences, and consequences create respect. When you raise your standards, some people will call you difficult. Let them. Often, the people upset by your boundaries were benefiting from your lack of them. The moment you stop being endlessly available, stop accepting excuses, stop lowering yourself for comfort, some will complain. That complaint is not a sign you are wrong. It is often proof that change has begun. Higher standards are not only about others, they are also about the relationship you have with yourself. Do you speak to yourself with respect, or do you tear yourself down daily? Do you honor your body or neglect it while promising to start later? Do you protect your peace or constantly entertain what harms you? Do you keep your word to yourself? The standards you hold internally shape the life you create externally. Raising your standards may require temporary loneliness. There may be seasons when old people fall away before new aligned people arrive. There may be moments when you walk away from comfort before reaching better opportunities. There may be silence where chaos once lived. Do not mistake that silence for failure. Sometimes peace feels empty only because you are used to dysfunction making noise. Think about relationships. Love without respect is not enough. Attention without consistency is not enough. Chemistry without character is not enough. Potential without effort is not enough. Too many people fall in love with possibilities while ignoring patterns. Standards help you choose based on reality, not fantasy. They remind you that being wanted is not the same as being valued. Think about work. If you know you can grow, why keep shrinking inside environments that do not recognize your contribution? If you have gifts, why bury them under fear? Raising standards in career does not always mean quitting immediately. Sometimes it means learning new skills, asking for fair treatment, building something on the side, or refusing to remain stuck mentally. Think about your daily habits. Standards are seen in routine more than speeches. Waking with purpose, managing your time, keeping promises, learning consistently, protecting your health, these are standards too. A high-quality life is usually built through repeated choices, not dramatic moments. And yes, raising standards can feel scary because it asks you to release what is familiar. But familiar does not always mean healthy. Many people stay in pain simply because pain is predictable. Growth asks you to trust that better exists even before you can fully see it. The beautiful part is that life responds quickly when your standards rise. You begin noticing red flags sooner. You waste less time. You attract people who respect themselves because they recognize the same in you. You become more selective with your energy. You stop begging for things that should come naturally. You feel lighter because your life is no longer crowded with what never fit. Remember this: every time you accept less than what aligns with your worth, you reinforce a low standard. Every time you choose dignity over desperation, you build a higher one. Every no to what drains you creates space for a better yes. So raise your standards. Raise the way you speak to yourself. Raise the way others must treat you. Raise the quality of your habits. Raise the level of peace you require. Raise the vision you hold for your future. Because the life you desire often begins the moment you stop tolerating the life you have outgrown. Have you ever noticed how life seems to change the moment you change? Not when you beg harder, chase more, or force outcomes, but when something inside you shifts. The truth most people miss is that life is constantly responding. It responds to your energy, your beliefs, your standards, your habits, and the way you carry yourself every day. If you keep showing up as someone who doubts their worth, accepts less, and fears everything, life often reflects that back. But when you rise internally, life begins to answer differently. Many people believe life is only about luck, timing, or circumstances. Those things matter, but they are not the whole story. Two people can stand in the same world and experience completely different realities because of how they think, move, and respond. One person sees rejection and decides they are not enough. Another sees rejection and decides they are being redirected. One person faces difficulty and collapses. Another faces difficulty and grows stronger. The event may be the same, but the response creates a different future. Life responds first to identity. How you see yourself influences nearly every decision you make. If you believe you are unworthy, you tolerate poor treatment. If you believe you are incapable, you avoid opportunities. If you believe you are always unlucky, you stop noticing chances that appear in front of you. But when you begin to see yourself as capable, valuable, and resilient, your behavior changes. You take risks, you set boundaries, you speak with confidence. You become available to better outcomes because you start acting like someone who deserves them. This is why inner work matters so much. People want external transformation without internal change. They want better relationships while carrying low self-worth. They want success while living in constant self-doubt. They want peace while entertaining chaos every day. But life often mirrors what is happening inside you. Heal internally, and your external world starts to reorganize. Life also responds to standards. What you repeatedly accept becomes your normal. If you accept dishonesty, dishonesty keeps finding you. If you accept mediocrity from yourself, average results become familiar. If you accept draining environments, exhaustion becomes your routine. But the moment you decide that respect is required, discipline is necessary, and peace is non-negotiable, your world begins to filter itself. Some things fall away, better things begin to enter. This can feel uncomfortable because when life starts responding to your growth, it does not always look like immediate rewards. Sometimes it looks like endings. Old friendships fade, jobs no longer fit, habits feel unbearable, relationships built on your self-neglect begin to crack. Do not panic during those seasons. Sometimes life removes what matched the old you to make room for what matches the new you. Life responds to consistency more than intensity. Many people get excited for 1 week, motivated for 1 month, then disappear from their own goals. They expect one burst of effort to undo years of neglect. But transformation is built quietly. A person who improves a little every day often outgrows the person who only moves when inspired. Life rewards those who keep showing up, especially when no one is watching. It also responds to courage. Fear is natural. But if fear controls every choice, your world becomes smaller and smaller. You miss conversations, opportunities, love, growth, and experiences because comfort became your prison. Courage does not mean feeling no fear. It means moving while fear is present. Every brave step teaches life that you are ready for expansion. Another powerful truth is that life responds to gratitude. This does not mean pretending pain does not exist. It means refusing to become blind to what still remains good. Gratitude shifts your focus from constant lack to present value. When your mind becomes trained to notice blessings, possibilities, lessons, and progress, you carry a different energy. You become more grounded, more hopeful, more open. And that openness changes how you meet the world. Life even responds to the words you speak. If you constantly say, "Nothing ever works for me," you begin acting like someone defeated. If you say, "I always mess things up," you reinforce failure as identity. Words become habits, and habits become reality. But when you speak strength, possibility, and faith, you begin thinking and acting differently. Language can build a cage or create a path. Remember, none of this means life becomes perfect. Challenges will still come, losses will still happen, delays will still test you. But when you transform internally, challenges hit differently. You bend instead of break. You learn instead of collapse. You trust instead of panic. That is one of the greatest forms of success. So if life around you feels stuck, ask what life is responding to right now. Is it responding to fear, excuses, and low standards? Or is it responding to courage, discipline, self-respect, and belief? The answer may reveal more than you think. Today, stop waiting for life to change first. Become the change. Raise your standards. Heal what has been hurting. Build stronger habits. Speak better words. Walk with confidence. Choose yourself again and again. Because the moment you transform within, life has no choice but to start transforming around you.